There's a couple of things now that still aren't locked in, and until everything's locked in, I'm not really excited about sharing it and having to change.
That's going to be hard to open your doors without office being open next door. You're going to try to secure something in short term?
Well, I think we will for some of the folks that need to be on campus, like the OBGYNs. Once an epidural starts, listen, when my wife was having our first child, Alex, and the doctor said, "You look pretty good. I'm going to go see a couple more patients. I'll be right back." Well, we all panicked and thought, "Where's she going?" Well, she was on site. So we will have some temporary space on site for those folks who need to be on site, absolutely.
Okay.
In what form, I'm not really sure yet. Good question. Yes, sir.
I'm going to draw a story up, kind of a follow-up to that, because I'm in commercial real estate too. Because we had, I just got a group, Lake Travis Commercial Association Dealmakers, anyway, a couple months ago at our luncheon, Mark Smith with Aqualand was there talking about the expansions plans around the hospital, and at that time they told us that in May of this year, which has already passed, there was going to be a 60,000 square foot retail building on that corner at 620 and Loman, or Flint Rock Trace, and then the 80,000 square foot medical MOB that Judd alluded to that was going to start in June. Now, we just talked about the hospital, what's going on with that retail building and why it hasn't started turning ground yet. You know?
You'd have to ask him. But again, the hospital is responsible for the hospital, the parking structure, and then an MOB that we believe we'll go ahead and build out front. The rest of it, completely out of our control. Great question. Don't know the answer. You have to ask them.
I thought you said Aqualand sold their interest.
I never said that.
Oh, okay.
See?
Will there be a helipad at the hospital?
There will. I appreciate you asking that because I forget about it. It's up on the roof. If you guys want to come by, the view from standing on the helipad is phenomenal. You can see a long way from up there. So we'd love to have you come by for a tour. You can see all the behind the scenes stuff, but yeah, it'll be up on the roof.
Because I know a lot of clients ask if there was going to be a helipad there because of the noise.
Yes, there will be. Yes, ma'am.
You said when you opened it, you're going to have 350 staff. What do you expect when you're in full swing? How many staff?
Well, full swing's hard to define. I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Well, what can you anticipate? Do you have any numbers, any projections in the future of employees? Number of employees?
I think volume will dictate how many employees we have. So, again, it's very difficult to put a number out there. We know exactly how we're going to start, and we anticipate growing rapidly and significantly, but how much exactly that will be is very difficult to say.
The answer to the question is it's a lot less than we were led to believe from the newspapers. So, in a nutshell.
Yeah, they were saying something 175 beds. Is that still?
106 beds, inpatient beds.
Okay, and they were saying 5 to 7 jobs per bed is what we were told a couple of years ago.
That's incorrect. Generally, a hospital will run 4 employees for every inpatient bed that's occupied. That's occupied, not built. Good question. Yes, ma'am.
Your job then to hire the physicians coming in?
Part of my job is to make sure we have a very, very solid medical staff. We generally don't hire the physicians. We have the hospital. They're independent of us. They're on medical staff. They bring their patients there. We are able to take care of them and provide them with services, nursing services, surgical services, but generally we don't hire them. Good question. Exceptions to every rule.
Yeah.
Some will be hired.
Some of the street talk and law before is that the right doctors aren't coming in to fill the beds. And of course, I don't understand this. Yeah, I do know that it needs to be surgery type doctors that actually will fill the beds in the hospital.
Well, I would argue that we have a lot of procedure-driven guys and gals involved, physicians to fill the beds. I think we'll have 6 or 7 cardiologists that are very, very active. We have 16 surgeons involved. We have urologists, GYN physicians. I would strongly disagree with that statement.
Well, that's stuff that you need to speak to shut down the negative. So you can then speak, yes, we're going to have plenty of surgeons available that will be the kind of physicians that will fill the bed.
Well, I appreciate that tip. Thank you.
agree to it out here.
David, you said most of the doctors are actually in town. But
Correct. Most of the physicians, and most, exceptions to every rule, of the physicians that are committed to be on staff are in the greater Austin area. Correct. Yes, ma'am.
You said you're searching for a CNO?
Correct.
Is that a
Chief Nursing Officer, I'm sorry. Thanks for asking.
The entrance to the hospital will be off of 620 or on Spire?
I don't know about Lomas, that's kind of a long haul. One will be off 620, you see the deceleration lane there, and then also we'll have an entrance off of Flint Rock. Correct. And Flint Rock needs a little help before we open. It's going to get redone. Well, I don't know about out that way. I'm worried about from 620 to the hospital entrance. Beyond there is, you know, other folks concerned. Yes, ma'am.
Are the potential residents coming to the area being channeled by certain preferred realtors, or is it pretty open market, or how's that marketing wise?
Are you asking me who, if we have an employee coming in that needs a realtor?
Realtors are being told things.
I'm sorry?
There's a real estate company out here that's kind of got a website, like, they're the real estate company that all the employees of the hospital should use to find their homes.
Is that Kenn?
From your point of view, are y'all pushing a certain company, or?
How I work it is, we have, thank you for clarifying the question, we work on a rotational basis. And if you're a high-end professional, you take great care of the folks, you probably get rotated in more. If our folks who are using your services have a bad experience, you probably get used a lot less. So it's just on a rotational basis.
And is there a way for us to get our name into that rotation?
There is. You just come and chat with me for a little bit. But you know, I need to pass out business cards as well. Any other questions?
You'll have about 80 realtors on your doorstep.
That's okay.
288.
It's pretty easy to figure out.
What am I doing? Why did I do this?
It's pretty easy to figure out who wants the business, who doesn't. And our expectation is on time, professional, and available. I had a realtor who said, "Hey, I want to be in the rotation." I said, "That's great. Stop by and visit me." Showed up 20 minutes late, flip-flops, shorts, and a Hawaiian shirt. Guess what? Yeah. A little advice, maybe. Yes, sir.
The hospital behind the post office.
Yes.
Is that part of your organization? I mean, I've heard.
No, it isn't. That's a completely separate entity put together by a gentleman named Robert Barry. If you have any questions, you can probably direct them to me.
Okay, so the rumors that your hospital bought them out is rumor.
Correct.
Okay.